Greetings, fellow YouTubers. Irv Lindsay here. How you doing? I'm here downtown Cincinnati. I'm here at the corner of Elm Street and 14th. I thought I'd do a little bit of exploring here in historic Washington Park. There is a lot of really cool architecture here along Washington Park. Washington Park also has a little doggy park area where you can let your dogs roam free. So if you hear any barking, that's what it is. Now, I don't have time to give a full history of all of these really cool buildings here, but obviously a lot of them are really old, because this particular area has existed for quite a while. This right here is the Hamilton County Memorial Building. They do all sorts of stuff in here. I've never been in it, but it's being backlit by the sun right now. We'll come back to the history of the music hall in just a minute. But before we talk about the music hall, let's actually go over into Washington Park and talk about something really haunted and spooky about it. Washington Park is it's a beautiful place. It's very scenic. A lot happens here. There's a playground, and there's a gazebo where they hold concerts. A lot of stuff happens in the summertime here in the park. But years ago, before it was a public park, this, my friends, was a cemetery. And at some point it was decided, for reasons not really clear to me, that this needed to be a park rather than a cemetery. So they dug up the bodies, moved the majority of them out to Spring Grove Cemetery, a very old, very historic cemetery north of Cincinnati, north of downtown. Rumor has it that they did not actually move all the bodies. Is this true? I don't know. But when they were excavating the park, not many years ago, they discovered these headstones still buried here. And if they did move the headstone, what happened to the bodies? It's not here, but they did find the headstone of Martha Stites. I thought it would be here. Evidently, it's not. She was the daughter-in-law of Benjamin Stites, one of the earliest settlers of Hamilton County, out in Columbia, Tusculum. I've been there, the Pioneer Cemetery. Check out that video. If I remember, there should be a little pop-up, little info box right up there. And then you can go out and see the original Pioneer Cemetery, where I believe where Benjamin Stites is buried. There is a reason why Cincinnati is a pretty big hotbed of paranormal activity. One reason is because it's a location of 3 different potter's fields. One was in Price Hill, we know about that one. Another one, not so well known, used to be underneath Union Terminal. I think a lot of people know about that, but it's not as well known. They did the same thing with it. They did with this years ago. They turned it into a park. It was called Lincoln Park. And then when they built the terminal, they did away with Lincoln Park and they made it all land for the terminal. Now let's go over to the 3rd Potter's Field in Cincinnati, which has a pretty varied history. The 3rd Potter's Field was, you guessed it, rumbling tractor behind me. No, the 3rd Potter's Field was the music hall. Before I end the video, this stretch of street in front of the music hall and in front of these really old historic buildings here, including that, I think it's a Presbyterian church. Somebody chime in, tell me what some of these buildings are. has the original brick on the street, and that is really cool. This entire stretch all the way down, and it's kind of loud. You can probably hear the cars rumbling along on it. So for those who haven't been to Cincinnati in a while, haven't had a chance to see the music hall, it looks a lot different than it used to. They just finished the renovations on it, and they have just opened up for business again. I'm gonna tell you, it looks fantastic. Down here towards the end, there used to be a handicap accessible ramp. It looks like it's been removed, but there used to be the ghost of a little girl that used to run around down there playing. A lot of these ghosts that they've heard of, nobody knows the history of, but the reason why, and we'll talk about this briefly before I end the video, before the music hall was built, this was, there was a orphanage and a tuberculosis hospital here. And so there used to be a potter's field beneath the music hall. And they didn't really move the bodies back in the 1800s when they built it. And so every time they do renovations on the music hall, they discover bones. As recently as last year, when they were excavating during the renovations, they did find human remains in the orchestra pit when they were doing excavations. So yes, there is reports of ghosts and paranormal activity aplenty here in Washington Park, especially at the music hall. Alrighty guys, that's it for me in Washington Park. Thanks for watching my main YouTube channel page, youtube.com/ErvTV. You'll also find me on Instagram I'm ErvTV on Instagram. I'm ErvLindsay on Twitter. I'm also on Facebook.com/ErvLindsay. Check me out there. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week, and hey, I'll see you in the next video.